I'm Bobby Lewis, author of Finding Joy Beyond the Headlines. Perhaps because of COVID-19, you're feeling a little anxious, you're feeling a little nervous, you're feeling a little uncertain about the future. I totally get that. I understand that. And I woke up this week wondering what to think about this pandemic that's sweeping through the nation. And the word that came to mind was perseverance. I wrote an entire chapter about perseverance in Finding Joy Beyond the Headlines. And I actually thought to myself, I wonder if there's anything in here that might be helpful in this weird, crazy time of coronavirus all over the newscast. And I came across something interesting I wanted to share from page 200. It says, I firmly believe what is written in the first chapter of James. He comes out of the gates hard. He was the half-brother of Jesus. He saw firsthand that life wasn't going to be a cakewalk. He knew that occasionally there would be a headline or two that would make you want to cry, scream, and give up all at the same time. He also knew that good can come from those headlines. James 1, verse 2, 3, and 4 say, Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. The key word is when. James did not write if troubles come our way. Ugly headlines are inevitable. He would know. He wrote this book to Christians, new Christians, who scattered after Jesus' death because of intense persecution. Now, if you claim to follow Jesus at that time, you signed your death certificate. You think our news is bad? Followers of Jesus were beheaded, stoned, and burned alive. Faith in Jesus required incredible perseverance, and it still does. Life got hard the moment Adam and Eve took that bite of forbidden fruit. It remained hard when God's people were enslaved for hundreds of years in Egypt, and when King Herod murdered thousands of children, hoping just to slay the chosen king of the Jews. It was clear that life was hard when the newborn king grew up and accepted nails in his hands and feet to save us. But there is good news. Opportunities to grow our faith come through standing strong in adversity. The reason something happened doesn't matter. Our response is what matters. I met a woman whose son died a few months into his life. I sat at her dining room table as she showed me a framed photo of her boy. His little smile left no indication of the disease that was attacking his body. She had to bury that child. Instead of letting that horrendous, life-altering event cripple her, she decided to volunteer to bake and decorate cakes for critically ill children who were stuck in the hospital on their birthdays. For free. How is that for a godly response? That is powerful perseverance. Most of the time, the people I interview never see the sad news coming. What catches my attention is how they persevere through their trial. Perseverance can be hard, but it's not impossible. Awful news doesn't have to paralyze us. It doesn't have to be anything more than a pebble on the highway to happiness that God has paved for you. I want to share those triumphant recovery stories. 2 Chronicles 20:17 in the NASB version says this, You need not fight in this battle. Station yourselves. Stand and see the salvation of the Lord on your behalf. O Judah and Jerusalem, do not fear or be dismayed. Tomorrow go out and face them, for the Lord God is with you. God didn't say our lives would be filled with unicorns and glitter. He guaranteed us that there would be tough times in life. James wrote about it. When you have troubles, when your faith is tested. Sad news is going to happen, but God promised to walk with us through those days and never leave our side. If necessary, He'll scoop us up and get us to the finish line Himself. You aren't walking through tough times alone. In fact, sharing your story with others can really make a difference. That's why I enjoy sharing perseverance stories, and they're everywhere. I see God in those victories. When we face trials and setbacks in life, God is there, giving us grace, strength, and drive required to get out of the pit. God is just like a loving parent, urging a toddler to walk. It'll be wobbly, and there will be moments of concern, but He will be right there to catch us when we fall. This is not a substitute for this in times of trouble. The Bible is where we should be going to immediately, first, second, and third, whenever we have trials in life. But we know that those trials are not the end. COVID-19 is not the end for you. In fact, it's just an opportunity for your faith to be tested and grow. I hope this offered you a little confidence going into this uncertain season. I remind you to keep your eyes fixed on God. He's the only place you'll find joy.